You suck. You suck, Wes.
What's up, everybody? Hey, fellas, this is Greg, host of the Arc of Wrestling podcast. We're here doing another episode for you guys after that shit stain of an episode of Raw. Hope you all enjoyed our new theme song created by our own village idiot Hunter. Say hi, Hunter.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth, Greg.
Beautiful. Village idiot.
So beautiful.
Also joining us on the podcast today, we got Wesley.
And I'm from Earth.
It's debatable.
That's very debatable. Say hi, Death.
Hello.
Oh, thanks for that
God.
quick hi. Hunter. I mean, not Hunter, Mike.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's an
Really?
insult.
Hunter just got new soul. Hello.
Just got insulted.
And I do believe Jonesy is currently far away from his mic.
He's pooping. Leave him alone.
Pooping.
He's pooping.
Anyways, like I said at the beginning of the show, that Raw was a shit stain. What to talk? How do you even approach a Raw like that? Apparently, there were a lot of script changes before that episode aired. One of the big news to come out of that episode was Daniel Bryan is confirmed that he has to undergo some neck surgery, which is coming this Thursday, and it's up in the air if he can even make it to Payback. Wow, that is a very big pill to swallow.
Is it like the pill the death pill? Is it like one of those?
Cyanide?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Man, it sucks. Bryan, since he's became champion, he's been on and off Raw. One of the first Raws he missed was the second Raw after Mania when he was on his honeymoon. He came back, he got destroyed, and I think he left again to go, because his father died, and he had to go do the funeral services and everything. And then he comes back, and now he has to go leave again for some neck surgery. This is a terrible situation for Bryan to be in, especially where we have all this news now coming from the WWE officials saying that they have no hope behind Bryan at this point.
I think it's Triple H saying that.
I don't think it's Triple H saying it. I probably would put that more behind Vince than Triple H.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because Triple H doesn't have the power to call who's the top guys in the company. Triple H has more involved in the undercard, I'd say. Like, all the Rusev stuff and everything, I would say would probably be Triple H doing. But what'd you guys think about this news coming out from Bryan? Any thoughts?
Are they gonna strip him of the belt?
Are they? That's one of the questions that came up in my mind. If he even misses Payback, does that put his titles at risk?
Well, Punk had knee surgery and didn't defend the belt.
When was that?
2012. When he was supposed to fight right back at TLC.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
And he didn't defend the belt, but he still kept it.
I'm very concerned about what the Payback card's gonna be. I mean, now that WWE's not really focusing on drawing the big pay-per-view numbers, they don't have to worry about a very solid card as long as their WWE Network subscriptions are high. But I have a lot of problem with this. Daniel Bryan leaving and not being there for Payback, I mean, it's still up in the air. There's some people saying that even after his neck surgery, he could probably get into the window right at Payback to wrestle a match against Kane, which is kind of what they've been building up to. I think originally it was supposed to be a Buried Alive match is what they were building up to as their rematch. But now all this is up in question, and it's just sad to think about.
Well, this is what happens. You double book your guy week after week. He's double booked and triple booked, and it's just stupid.
Yeah, they overwork Bryan to see if he has what it takes to be the top star, and then still at the end they won't change their mind about it.
I blame CM Punk.
Why, Mike? Why do you blame CM Punk? What do you
Because
do?
he's not there.
Yeah.
It's his fault Daniel Bryan's neck is broken.
Hijack Raw. We
Uh,
want Punk.
other news that we could talk about from Raw. We have Alicia Fox quit on the
Oh.
WWE app
Oh man, it's a shame.
after she
She
lost
came
to
back
Paige.
apparently.
Oh, she did. That's great.
As did I.
But when did she come back? Was there any?
Apparently during the app.
So she quit on the app, and then on the next app segment she returns. That's great.
She only did this to confirm that she signed a new contract extension.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh.
I
I mean, that's kind of what I was expecting. I'd imagine that there would be some contracts expiring pretty soon. I know JTG is coming up on his 7 years in the company.
He's only been used for 3 of them.
JTG.
JTG is coming up on his 7 years anniversary.
And what's he been doing?
Who the fuck is JTG?
I think the last legitimate thing he did on Raw was right before they did that big walkout angle when he said all that shit on Twitter, and then they decided to put him in a match, and he got squashed by, I think, Ryback.
This is how much I care about GTG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Daniel Bryan's gonna be missing a couple more weeks. JTG's going on his 7th anniversary. Lisa Fox fired and then got rehired.
No, she quit
Also
and then
quit.
came back.
Oh, okay, quit. Whatever.
There's a difference, Greg.
Fucking alright. Damien Sandow cut a pipe bomb, I would say. Originally there was news that came on earlier in the week that said that WWE is expecting to do some more angles on the pre and post shows.
Silence.
And
I kill you.
this is our first taste of those. Damien Sandow on the pre-show of Raw came on to the little set that they have out in the corner with Justin Roberts and Booker T and other stuff.
Justin, you mean Josh Matthews?
Oh,
Robert?
I forgot. Justin Roberts, the other guy who left.
You fucked up.
Did Justin
Wow,
Roberts leave?
man.
Justin Roberts is the ring announcer.
Oh,
Idiot.
come on. I cannot be the only person who's mixed up Justin Roberts and Josh Matthews.
You
No,
are.
they don't look anything alike.
And they don't sound anything alike either.
Oh yeah.
The Kool-Aid Man's here, everybody.
Anyways,
Oh, yeah.
Damien Sandow cut a pipe bomb promo. It wasn't anything special. He was complaining about, do I have to dress up like a superhero on this show? Do I have to please the fans? And then it kind of just ended. They cut his mic and he started talking into Josh Matthews' mic. Not really
Justin,
saying...
oh my god, you're an idiot.
I said Josh Matthews.
Sounded like Joss.
No, I
Justin
said Josh
Roberts.
Matthews.
I heard
Fuck
Joss.
Go back and I said it. I said it.
You
Anyways,
did say Joss. I agree.
no, fuck you, wasn't. So, anyways, I'm guessing they're gonna do these more often. Did Sandow have another segment on Raw?
Yeah.
before his match
Did
with
I
Cody
miss
Rhodes.
that? Okay.
Man.
I think he was also gonna try to cut another little pipe bomb before that match started as well.
And yeah, then their music hit, and he's like, "Brr."
Yeah. He got blocked by Goldust.
He literally went, "Boo!"
Yeah. Other things that happened on tonight's Raw.
Seth Rollins made the greatest noise ever when he attacked Triple H in the back.
Oh yeah, that was weird. Like,
No. That was when they attacked him in the ring.
oh,
Seth Rollins made the
that was-
yeah noise when he jumped on him.
No, Triple H made that sound.
Yeah, Triple H.
Yeah, Triple H made the noise.
Triple H was like, I'm going to... sounded like he's getting ready to throw up in the middle of the ring.
oh, and if you guys are wondering how they wrote Bryan off, Stephanie came out calling out Bryan to come out because I think she was gonna pull the belts off of him. I wasn't quite too sure where that could have possibly went.
She was literally going to pull the belts off of him.
Literally.
But
He
Kane
was gonna
comes.
pull his belt off and suck his dick.
Kane comes out, pretty much drops Bryan.
He dragged him.
Or he
He
dragged
dragged him. He did not drop him.
Sorry, I barely watched that segment.
He pretty much got the Zack Ryder treatment there.
Yeah. lights came back on. Stephanie Shaw, she's trying to make this whole act look a little legitimate. Apologizing to Stephanie Bree. And Bree shoves her and tells her to
Go
stay
away!
away.
Go
And
away! Leave me alone!
Bree's been doing the best acting work in her entire career.
Oh, really?
Oh my
No.
god.
Missed this last week.
Man, there's really nothing else that happened on this Raw. They had a rematch of. I guess I wanted to talk about this a little bit. They had a rematch of a match they had on SmackDown. It was John Cena and the Usos versus the Wyatt family. And when I could have possibly thought that maybe the Wyatts were just going to leave this match via shenanigans, kind of like a walkout or something, no. The Usos and John Cena got a clean win over the Wyatt family.
Of course they did! What were you expecting?
Oh, but it wasn't Bray Wyatt who was pinned, it was Rowan.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't fucking matter. The entire stable seems like it's... If one falls, the entire stable falls. And so when the entire stable falls, then you just lost some pretty good momentum going forward. And
Yes.
that's how I feel after this match. I felt the Wyatts kind of went down a notch after this loss. And
Swatch?
After this launch.
This launch.
Dude, I love watches.
But the Wyatt family, man, that sucks for them.
Yeah, they're getting fed to John Cena.
And yeah, everybody gets fed to John Cena sooner or later.
I would have rather had some shenanigans happen so they didn't kind of come off of it. And they cut this promo, or at least Wyatt cut this promo later on in the show. And at that point, I didn't really give a shit. You know, it's like, oh, how the fuck are you going to come back from a big loss like that?
Last man standing, John.
Oh my god.
It was a big win on SmackDown, and I actually kind of liked that match that they had on SmackDown. I thought it was very interesting. This one, not so great. If you want to re-watch a good six-man tag between the Usos and Cena versus Wyatt, go watch their SmackDown match. That was quite good. This was just a downer. This entire show, it was one after another.
Was it a
It
Debbie
just-
Downer?
Yes, it was a Debbie.
You shout to Debbie Downer.
Best SNL
Can
segment.
I just say one thing though?
What?
When Bray, after they lost their match and Bray cut his little promo, he had this face where it's like, John, why didn't you pin me, John? John.
I don't even care at that point. They shouldn't have been pinned in general. Some shenanigans should have happened. The lights should have come out. Maybe some more kids. I don't fucking know. But
I did like whenever Bray was like, I know what I have to do. That just freaked me out. I was like, oh god.
what
He's
does
gonna-
that mean?
He's gonna rape a child.
I think
He's
that's
gonna do something dark.
yeah.
Darker than children.
Put
Whoa.
lotion on the skin.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of
Like it's
hoping,
the hose again.
Yup.
the Wyatts could recover from a disappointing loss.
So- I know they're gonna hang a black man in the backyard.
They're gonna come out with skin masks on.
Is it gonna be JT?
And there it is.
There's the racism.
Uh,
We missed it.
we got
Speaking
Batista.
of racist, Rusev.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the Rusev stuff. Man, Rusev, if it wasn't for Lana, Rusev would just be another monster who would get pushed for a little bit and then.
Rusev
They already
smash.
kind of is.
But Lana is bringing a whole new dimension to Rusev. And a lot of people are complaining that, oh, the Rusev went from the Bulgarian route to being Russian. They're just going with what works, and what's working right now is how much heat they're getting with all this Russian stuff. You know, all this Putin talk and all this other...
You know what they need to do?
Who?
On
You know what they
Putin.
need to do? They need to hire a wrestler from the Ukraine.
They need to hire...
No, listen, hear me out. You need to hire a wrestler from the Ukraine, and during his match, you have Rusu come out and invade this match.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Want to go the real extreme way of
Yes.
things. I think that's great. I think they also need to hire some like Chinese and North Korean people.
Oh my god.
if we're gonna go legit with this,
The only way to go, the best way to go is the legit way.
yeah, it's the only way to get. I mean, Lana is proving it greatly. How what's the best way to get heat right now? And man, that USA chant was probably the loudest chant of the night. Louder than
mean-
anything Brian got. Louder than anything anywhere else of the show got.
I mean, if you want China and North Korea to get booed, just have Yoshikatsu turn heel.
And Kento. And
Yeah, no.
Sakamoto. We'll talk about them a little bit later.
Brandon Stroud of uprocks.com actually wrote a really good article about the whole him beating up only black people and like all the ties and stuff like that. It's really good, and I would really have people check it
Read it.
out if you
Are,
have
are,
a
we,
chance to
are,
see
we,
it.
But how
are we-
does Reed?
Are we really accusing Rusev of being racist towards blacks?
Absolutely.
It's interesting by the
Oh.
fact that while he did state like he faced Zack Ryder in his first match, I believe,
He's also wrestled Sin Cara.
and Sin Cara. His first legitimate feud and pay-per-view match was with R-Truth and Xavier Woods, and then he went on to have a couple matches with Kofi Kingston. And now he's gonna possibly have a feud with Big E, in which I think was gonna be a really good series. Right? Yeah. I think Mike, you said it would be a good feud.
It would if it's booked properly.
I think it
Yes.
would be booked properly. Now, obviously, they're gonna try to make Big E the all-American black guy. And we didn't even mention Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Who? Hacksaw Jim Dugan.
Hawk team, John Dugan.
Oh yeah, Dugan.
Hacksaw
Dugan.
Jim Dugan.
Jim Dugan.
Jim Dugan.
Lana has that fucking
Oh.
accent down perfectly. She's been posting these Instagram videos, and her legitimate accent reminds me a lot of Maurice's annoying French California girl accent. That really pisses me off. So I'm glad that Lana is really
Oui.
good with her
Ooh, we.
ooh wee.
Louis.
I'm singing her theme song.
Drink just mad because he can't be a California French girl.
Anyways, the main event of Raw. The main event of Raw was Batista and Roman Reigns.
It was.
I can't remember this match because I was watching the Ducks game.
Oh my god.
I stopped, and like, when I turned back to see what was happening, all the roster attacked the Shield. And then the Shield retaliated with chairs, and then that's how it ended. Oh, and Ryback got triple powered bomb.
Good.
Again.
But
Oh.
in general, that
You forgot Sheamus destroying Curtis Axel and Ryback in 2 separate matches.
is that really like if we're gonna talk about that, we're gonna have to talk about the Divas.
He legit
No.
he legit
No.
pinned Curtis Axel in a 10-minute match, and then he pinned Ryback in another 10-minute match.
Okay, then we have to legit talk about the Nikki Bella versus Natalia match.
No, we don't. We can talk about the Paige versus Alicia Fox
No.
match, which was really
That had
good.
the cast of the Total Divas at ringside with
God, stop crying.
number signs for no fucking reason. I'm not even sure if they explained it. They just kind of came out, and then Nikki Bella and Natalia had a very shitty match, and then
It was
Eva
over a
Mar-
fucking painting.
Well, that was a pretty shitty painting.
Terrible, Torre.
And then Eva Marie was judging the match. At one point, two of the Divas held up 69, and
Even,
Wood Chat was going ape shit.
even Marie can't count to 5. All right.
Dude, yeah. She's like, 3 is enough. Alright?
And then Biggie comes in,
Yes.
and then
If I
Slams her through a
This
paint.
is like
a black.
this is the first time ever, like, after a Divas match ended, because the way that match ended, I just wanted to just turn off my computer and go
And by-
to bed
and when Eva Marie
and
means
want to finish.
and when Eva Marie means 3, she means 1 in each hole.
Oh my god. Anyways,
What?
yeah,
Oh.
that match was.
Talk.
I mean, what's the point? This Raw was garbage. Like, we didn't even talk about the opening match, which was Rob Van Dam and Swagger, because that went nowhere. Because Adam Rose came out with his Rosebuds, who, mind you, were all the NXT developmental guys. I could name off a bunch of them. Becky Lynch was there. Ryan Drago, who's now Simon Gotch, was there.
I saw Gene. He's not developmental.
Who?
Well, he is retarded. Eugene.
Oh yeah, Eugene. Yeah, there was a bunch of guys who were there. I think they were only there for this week because South Carolina is kind of close to Florida, and they were able to take the trip up the Raw for a little bit to do it. But I don't expect them to be doing that a whole bunch. Last week we saw them use just regular actors for the Express. So.
I could just stop.
Oh yeah, Braun Strowman was the really big, muscular man in the small little trunks
Who?
All right, good description.
who looked like a gladiator.
There you
Gladiator
go.
guy with the big bushy beard.
He's
Yeah,
able
he
to
has the
trade.
big bush.
Hunter has a big bush.
Whoa.
No,
As
he
can
shaves
fr-
it. He
oh
told
yeah,
us that.
with Trenrab, right?
Yeah, I shaved it.
Sweat.
That's the best way we can review Raw for you guys because it was a really bad Raw.
It was really bad.
It jumped around a lot. It didn't feel like there was a whole lot of giving a shit about what was happening. Things kind of went by and happened and then moved on to the next. It didn't feel like anything special happened.
It made me have to take a poop.
Yeah.
It gave Mike a bodily function.
So, because we can't talk about Raw for the next half hour, we're going to talk about some news that's been happening over the past couple weeks.
People punch babies.
We're going to start with some WWE news, because we're talking about WWE right now. We'll move on to some TNA, and then maybe some Indies, and then we'll end the show with that. AJ Lee, who has been missing since her loss against Paige.
Have you seen AJ Lee on the set of milk cartons?
Yeah. It's being reported that AJ Lee was advertised to return for the WWE's up-and-coming European tour that begins in just a few days. She was originally advertised for the tour as of recent April 20th, but now she's no longer being advertised.
Because she's a whore.
This is backed up by 2 straight reports from the Wrestling Observer, including one
Oh
this
boy.
week, that says that there is no internal timetable for AJ's return. As noted, she has requested some time off, and officials are fine with her taking as much time as she needs.
Like David White Meltzer.
Now, as that stands, that doesn't mean WWE's stock in AJ has
Yes, it does.
gone away anytime, because from what it appears, WWE officials believe that both Emma and Paige haven't gone over with the fans, and they are pretty much failed acts. And they believe that once AJ comes back into the picture, they're gonna give her back what she rightfully deserves.
Well, when you stick somebody with
No.
Santino and turn them into a retard, I mean,
Let me speak on this. Budalai.
preach, brother, preach.
The Emma gimmick, I had to put down my control.
Testify!
I had to- This is my audience member right here. I had to put down my controller for this. Emma sucks.
No, she doesn't. Mike,
Her gimmick sucks.
Bob.
Okay, let me make
I
an
am
argument.
not done preaching.
All right.
This is a gimmick. NXT, I've just come to the conclusion that NXT is full of retards. So, this gimmick, yes, 3 people were doing little hand movement things, whatever they were. It did not translate well. And not to mention, she got paired with Santino,
Yep,
which is the biggest piece of walking trash I've ever seen in my life.
kiss of death.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's why Emma has failed. Because she's with Santino Marella.
Okay, can I make my fucking point now?
No, you can't.
Here's the thing. My argument for Emma is simply this. Her gimmick worked in NXT because NXT is a very closed crowd. They watch NXT, they go to those tapings every month or so. And then that crowd became very, it's like the Ring of Honor show. The Ring of Honor crowd, they get so into the gimmicks and stuff, they forget what's bad or what's good. Now, I'm not saying Emma's gimmick was bad. I actually like her gimmick because the way she connected with the NXT crowd. No, WWE probably should have looked at that situation and realized that connecting to the NXT crowd is probably completely different than connecting to a random wrestling crowd on the road at a Raw or SmackDown. It's completely different because
Let's just say Corpus Christi.
They aren't connected to the gimmick as close to NXT is. Now, that sucks because that was the gimmick she was gonna go into the company with. Now, maybe they should have approached it a little differently, maybe gave small snippets of the gimmick week after week, but they kind of jumped her into Santino. They had 3-4 months worth of Santino Emma versus Summer Rae Fandango, which was also bad on the booking side of things. So don't blame Emma. I would blame WWE officials for not having anything to do with, for having nothing for Emma to do, not even putting her with any of the other divas. It was a bad situation to begin with, and it was a bad situation to what the outcome came to be. So Emma doesn't suck. It's that they expected her to be just as over as she was with the NXT
with the crowd. She sucks.
Which that wasn't gonna happen. She wasn't gonna connect with the crowd as well as she did with the NXT crowd because they're different crowds.
Oh, are they?
I can't put any blame on her for not connecting with the crowd.
And then when you go and talk on the Paige side of things, I think WWE's argument for Paige is completely bullshit. While some people would say, oh, because she wrestles Alicia Fox and Aksana every week. Yeah, but I would also have to put the blame on WWE for not putting the Total Divas in that position as well, since obviously people think the Total Divas are such faces when they're constantly playing Cameron, and now I think this week Natalya could be possibly turning heel, unless that's just bullshit LOL Total Divas shit that's gonna happen.
It is. It's just a spat.
A little bit.
LOL Total Divas.
I think, I don't know. I think WWE's is having a bunch of problems managing these new NXT guys.
They're having a midlife crisis.
I don't think they have any idea how to book these new guys. I fear for Bo Dallas coming up now.
I don't, because he sucks too.
I fear for Sami Zayn coming up soon. I fear for Corey Graves being brought up soon, because if...
Never gonna happen.
No, he's not going to be brought up because everybody's going to stay down.
Oh my god.
Because he's a rapist.
If WWE's track record with these NXT guys goes horribly wrong, man, I'm going to be a little scared to see what happens with the next call-ups. Because they're going to really start calling up guys soon, because I think in the next taping they're going to be, which is this week actually, on the 16th, they have their next set of tapings. 15th or the 16th, one of the two. But yeah, more guys are going to be debuting soon, so that means they're going to really have to start calling up some guys from NXT to the main roster.
Alright!
I can't wait to see how hard Adam Rose crashes and burns. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a fireball I'm going to love to see.
Why do you want to see that?
Because the gimmick is terrible.
The gimmick is... Okay, the gimmick is bad to an extent. But I really don't... But I don't want to see Adam Rose die for the fact that I like the guy who plays Adam Rose.
No.
We know what's gonna die
eventually.
eventually.
I like
what it is... Hold on. Time out. I want the Adam Rose part of him to die. I want the Leo Kruger part to come back.
But that's the thing. I mean, can you think of one superstar who's had a really bad gimmick, left, and then came back to have another successful run?
Let me see.
I can't think of a situation where that's... I mean, there's Bo Dallas, but Bo Dallas was lucky enough to have NXT as a very stable brand to go back to.
Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
He's a male cheerleader.
He was a male cheerleader, but
Yeah, that was a bad gimmick.
when the gimmick died, Ziggler disappeared. He went back to FCW. It wasn't like he sticked around as Nikki for a little bit and then failed completely. He wasn't Kenny Dykstra.
Oh.
Shout out to Kenny Dykstra.
But yeah, I don't want the Adam Rose gimmick to fail for the sheer fact that if he does, I don't think WWE would really want to book him at that point. Like, unless they decided, hey, that Leo Kruger gimmick's actually pretty cool. We're gonna see if we could do a quick switch on TV. But then you would have to grow the beard back, and I don't know how long that's gonna take.
It'll take
Not
a
very
month.
long.
Adam
A month.
I'm guessing you've
number
never.
3MB.
I'm guessing Greg's never grown facial hair in his life.
No. Facial hair, it grows differently for some people. For some people, a beard like that could take about a month. For some other people, a beard like that could probably take about 3 to 4 months.
So, Greg, would you say it's genetics make the difference?
Oh yeah, genetics really makes a difference. I don't know Leo Kruger's fucking genetics.
He's got AIDS.
Wow.
Anyways,
I'm just saying Adam Rose's gimmick is going to be one that gets over because of his theme song.
Yes.
and I'm not
Don't be a
disagreeing
lemon.
with you,
Be a rosebud.
but you know
Be a massive faggot.
there is a slight chance that
Darren Young?
there is a slight chance that
Oh.
Adam Rose's gimmick can end up getting popular.
Yeah, because of his theme song.
Not just of his theme song. I mean, I would say originally, yes, his theme song would be a good way to get him over with the crowd. But I think once the crowd starts seeing the gimmick and seeing how fun it could be, I don't think he's had a lot of time to show any character, to be completely honest.
Hey guys, let's all dance around like an idiot on a bus. Let's have Eugene come out in a diaper.
Okay,
Let's
so
have a bunny come out and yeah.
so
Also,
anyways, what?
Confirmed, Zack Ryder is the bunny,
No, he's
according to Dolph
denied it.
Ziggler.
He's denied it. Dolph is just fucking with him at this point.
It's still funny.
One of CM Punk's best friends and
Oh my
ex-girlfriend
god. Oh my god.
says he's now a retired wrestler. Apparently, Natalie Slater is
Heath
Is-
Slater's sister?
probably. She wrote an article for Red Eye Chicago, where she referred to one of her friends as a retired pro wrestler. This obviously was in talks. This was pretty much in reference to CM Punk. She made a lot of points saying that he was fed up with over-obsessed wrestling fans who would stalk Punk like outside of his home and go through his trash. And Punk, all he wants to do is be left alone. That's all. He just wants to be left alone and do what he wants to do. But apparently, she's pretty much kind of confirmed to what we've all been wondering. Is Punk coming back, or is he officially retired? And at this point, I think it's safe to say that Punk's done. Punk's done.
Hijack Raw.
Done.
Hashtag.
Hashtag hijack Raw.
Hashtag.
Done.
We do this because we do this for a purpose. Our work is not done.
Yeah. So that's kind of there. You know, I'm not sure what else there is to say. We're still gonna be seeing for like the next year and a half of Punk's at a Chicago Blackhawks game. Let's all freak out about it. And
Bring
talk
back
about how he's
Colt
gonna
Cabana.
come back.
Yes.
All these TNA news.
Did you know that Willow is Jeff Hardy?
Let's talk about some NXT news. WWE NXT star Garrett Dillon, who is the son of actor Chris Christopherson,
Garrett Bischoff.
returned from an injury at last night's NXT live event. Dylan was released by WWE in August of last year, but returned earlier this year. He actually wrestled as Captain Comic
Oh my
from
god.
Adam Rose's Rosebuds on This Week NXT, losing to Camacho. Dylan lost to
Good.
Travis Tyler on Friday night and tweeted about the match. So yeah, Garrett Dillon's back.
Spoilers.
Garrett
Who's Garrett
Dillon,
Dillon?
the fame.
Derek Dillon?
No, Garrett
Garrett
Dillon.
Dillon.
He,
Barrett Dillon.
if you don't know who Garrett Dillon is, he was
Which I don't.
He was a part of that tag team with Scott Dawson, who was managed by Sylvester LaFleur. Mike's fan is gonna go
Shout out to
completely AWOL.
dude. Shout out to Mike's industrial fan. Drink.
Every-
Returns.
Every home needs an industrial fan.
What else is there to say?
Your mother.
Camacho is my favorite person on NXT.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
because he killed the comic guy.
Oh, that's sad.
And also, timeout.
Oh,
so I
time
went
out,
back-
guys. Let's all be
Yeah,
quiet.
timeout. Dude, I even make the hand motion. Come on. I went back and watched NXT from last week because I was sitting in the car and I was bored. So I was watching the Divas matches, and Alexa Bliss, is that her name? She is now my number one favorite diva on NXT. Bailey is now in spot number 2.
Yeah. I'm guessing she has a gimmick now called the Bliss Kiss.
And that is the greatest thing in the world.
Is it your dog spot?
No, all she does, she ends every promo with, and I'm just gonna give you one big bliss kiss, and then she
Oh,
kisses
God.
the camera.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's fucking short. She's like 5'2", 5'4". She's probably like the shortest person in WWE. Shorter than Rey Mysterio.
Even shorter than
That's good.
Kalisto?
Oh yeah. Kalisto debuted on NXT,
Thank god, finally.
debuting with El Local, who is wrestling, who is Ricardo Rodriguez.
Lucha.
So we got, and we also got Marcus Louis, who is now teaming with Sylvester LaFleur as the Legionnaires,
Sacre Bleu.
the cool version of La Resistance.
You shut your dirty whore
When I
mouth.
think Legionnaires, I think of Romans, not freaking French people.
Shut up,
Faggot
Wesley.
Frenchies.
When I think of
Whoa.
when I think of
Whoa.
Legionnaires, I think of skin disease.
I also think of Fallout New Vegas.
Regarding why WWE recently released Mason Ryan, officials
Because
felt
he
that
sucks.
he wasn't improving at a fast enough rate.
Well, I could have told you that.
Ryan was well liked and didn't have an ego. It was noted that it must have taken a lot for WWE to release Ryan because he has the size they like, and WWE liked the idea of having a superstar babyface from Wales.
Well, sucks.
Yeah. I kind of liked Mason. I thought he was improving on NXT.
Yeah.
Apparently I was seeing something that WWE officials weren't seeing.
It was secretly Batista.
In response to a recent report that there are higher ups in WWE that believe Daniel Bryan isn't really as over as his yes chant, and that there was a lot of concern over his future as a top star. It said that everything is still planned for Bryan to be the number 2 guy behind John Cena for the foreseeable future. I think that spot was solidified for Bryan ever since Punk left. Because they really have nobody else. Oh, we didn't get Cesaro on this week's Raw.
Because he's on main event.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
He's just on Sheamus.
Ah. Alright. I'm still disappointed, though. I would have liked to see Cesaro sighting.
By the way, speaking of stupid people.
Oh boy.
Wait, Cesaro's stupid?
No. I'm talking about stupid people in general.
Oh.
I was gone for a few days.
Sure.
And I came in a chat today.
Oh boy.
Sure.
I'm excited for this.
And the first thing I read, this was from 8 p.m. 11 p.m. Saturday night? And the first thing I see is some retard in our Skype group who goes, and I quote, Jushin Thunder Liger moves as slow as Mark Henry does. So, I proceeded to take my noggin and rammed it into the door.
Take that noggin.
Because anybody,
God.
whoever says Jushin Thunder Liger a legend in Japan who survived brain cancer, moves as slow as Mark Henry in the ring, deserves to take their wrestling card away from them.
Ooh, your card.
Hey, Mike,
I
you like
love-
eggnog?
I have never seen such stupidity
What?
in my lifetime.
What? Why is that even a question?
Like
Someone
that.
just
Because-
made Mike lose his smile.
Because he said that he likes to ram his noggin into the door, and I just
Noggin?
started talking about
Shut
eggnog.
up.
I heard you, and I'm not going to
Shut
acknowledge
up,
your
Greg.
question.
To more WWE news.
That's my stupid people of the week quote.
Kenta, the great Japanese wrestler from Pro Wrestling Noah, came as a huge shock to everyone when he left the Japanese wrestling
But does he move as slow as Mark Henry in the ring?
company.
She talks
Uh,
to
He looks like
2.0.
a giant baby.
It was noted before that it was being reported in Japan that Kenta was indeed headed to WWE. There's a feeling that Kenta realizes his body has suffered from years of Japanese style, and that that if he was going to WWE, now is the time. Japanese wrestler Katsuyori Shibata, who is close to Kenta, says that Kenta's dream is to go to WWE, and it's also said that it's being rumored that Japanese wrestler Sakamoto, who you guys know as
Sakamoto.
the Japanese guy who came to the ring with Tensai, and then Tensai beat the shit out of him. He was
Or
released.
Shinkai.
He was released back in May of 2013, but now he's been cited at one of the recent Orlando NXT Live events. The rumors say that he may have been brought back to help with translating for Kenta, who when he arrives.
Can we just be honest and say it's to advertise Godzilla? Yes.
Is Godzilla even in Japan? Is this new Godzilla even in Japan?
No, it's in New York. I think.
Obviously it is.
What's the fucking point?
What's the point? It's a giant monster.
He's on tour.
When did these Godzilla movies start happening in the U.S.?
Uh,
When did
well,
the U.S. start saying
there's-
we're gonna adopt Godzilla and fuck off?
A lot of fish.
Greg, there's only... Shut up, Jonesy. Oh my god. Greg, there's only been 2 movies of Godzilla in America, in '98 and then this one.
What about Godzilla 2000 or that's
That's
somewhere
a
else?
lot of fish.
Oh, well, that was a
Jap-
cartoon. That doesn't count.
No, that wasn't a cartoon.
Yeah, there was... Oh, no, I'm thinking Godzilla, the animated series. I'm thinking of.
Which was better than the movie.
It's not canon.
Yeah.
Former Drake Younger worked last night's WWE NXT Live event in Orlando as a referee. I think his name is Drake Warts, something like that.
Poor Drake Younger. He goes from winning Best of the Best 2014 in CCW to going to WWE to be a referee in NXT. This man's got it all.
I'm not too sad about it. You never know if he may end up wrestling a little bit, a couple matches here and there. WWE is possibly staying with NBC Universal. Hopefully we'll.
Yay.
There are people in the TV industry who believe that a new TV deal has already been cut between WWE and NBC Universal. WWE may be waiting to allow NBC to announce at their new deal at the upfronts of this coming Thursday in New York City. For the past few years, NBC has held their cable upfront parties separately, but this year they'll be holding one mega event for all 17 of their channels, including the USA Network, Bravo, E, Oxygen, and others.
Oxygen.
It'll be very interesting to see what WWE gets out of this deal, because originally WWE passed by NBC's original deal, which led to the big bidding war before Mania. So I'm guessing
we're all
NBC.
getting the Darren Young Power Hour.
Oh my god! I'm guessing NBC is gonna give them
I
the
want
money
it.
that WWE wants to give them, or WWE wants NBC to give WWE. Fuck the Kings. That's all I want to say.
Did they win?
Oh.
They closed it to a 1-goal gap. They could tie it up in 5 minutes, but I don't see it happen.
Your mom's a 1-goal gap.
Whoa.
Gibson's
Yeah.
too good to let it happen in 5 minutes.
Dude, Choppy Gibson.
Anyways,
Kirk Gibson?
WWE NXT
Oh,
star
Gibson?
Tyler Breeze posted a photo of himself in a recording studio this week with the caption "Coming soon." The post was retweeted by WWE Music
As am
Twitter,
I.
and it's speculation that he was recording vocals for his new theme song,
Oh, God.
which sucks because his theme is amazing. It doesn't need any freaking vocals.
And when's Solomon Crow debuting?
Probably at the next taping.
You've been saying it for the past 6 months.
I have been, but it's the gap is closing. If he doesn't debut in like 2 or 3 more months, I don't see him debuting at all.
Unless he's getting bypassed for the main roster. Ooh.
That could be a possibility.
Which he should, because there's trash like Adam Rose that
Yeah.
changes gimmicks and then all of a sudden he's on the main roster
Yeah.
without even debuting in NXT yet.
But
Yeah.
if I have a feeling that WWE may end up making NXT a 2-hour show, possibly, they may need a lot of talent to.
They run their own network. Why couldn't they make it 2 hours?
Yeah, I don't understand why they
That-
can't
that's-
make it.
They have no restrictions. They can easily replace one of their 18 different replays of WWE Countdown.
Well,
Come on, man. We gotta have that 13th showing of WrestleMania 3.
Originally, there was the news that came out that WWE wanted to split the recordings of NXT from every 4 weeks to like every 2 weeks, so they could stay updated, and if NXT guys debut, they don't have to be so behind and put in fucking segments, blah 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 blah. So if they were to make it every 2 weeks, I could see it very possible to make their 4-hour shows, the 4 hours that they
4 hour NXT shows.
no, the 4 hours that they record,
Jesus.
the 4 hours that they record of NXT, because they record an hour for every show into just
Well, no, you think?
to the 2-hour shows, and yeah, I think it would work fine. I don't see any problem with it. What else? Danny Burch, who's also another NXT star. The feeling that Burch was given up on by WWE officials after he returned from a knee injury. Burch is 32, and the emphasis on developmental is on youth. So
LOL.
Burch was too old.
Okay, the emphasis on youth. Titus O'Neil is 39.
Yeah, he's old man.
But he's not in developmental.
It doesn't matter.
And he's basically in
He's
developmental.
developmentally challenged.
Pretty much.
He's been on the main roster for like 3 years.
I guess that's it for WWE news. You guys want to talk about some TNA?
No.
Let me ask you this: have you guys watched NXT this week?
NXT?
Or not NXT, TNA?
What's that?
Because it's very shitty what they've been doing.
That's why I haven't been watching.
Well, Dick,
Then there's no need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the news. Apparently, TNA is in a very bad position right now. They are actually in a worse position right now than they were like 3 or 4 months ago. Let me go over what's been happening.
Do we have to?
Yes.
How is this news?
Recently, WB, or god damn it,
WWE.
G fucking G.
recently TNA shot their Saturday on Saturday their one night only Knockouts Knockdown pay-per-view taping, and they're very impressed with Veda Scott and Jessica Havoc. I'm
You
not
know,
sure.
that-
I'm not
they
sure
prob-
what that means, but okay.
They have 4 knockouts and the rest of them are all indie talent. That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Can't wait for them to wrestle one match apiece and then get released.
Right?
Or not get paid at all.
Yeah.
there were a couple releases from TNA recently. We have TNA veteran Kazarian finishing up his remaining days on his contract with TNA at this week's tapings. Kazarian has been with the promotion since 2003. His departure opens the door for Kazarian and Daniels to work somewhere else as bad influence.
They're going to Ring of Honor.
In which Mike has just said, well, right before I was going to say it, was, yes, they are now expected to go to Ring of Honor.
Dude,
You excited, Mike?
influ-
You seem
bad
so excited.
Bad Influence versus Red Dragon.
It will be quite
Red
interesting.
Dragon?
I just want to see Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly come out in their little preppy golf shirts.
But when
With
will-
Daniels and Kaz coming out with their Appletinis
but
and
when,
their non-ridiculous looking golf shirts.
but when the fuck will the Bravado brothers come in?
They've been in Ring of Honor before.
Have they?
Yeah.
I must have missed those.
They feuded with the Briscoes before.
Another release comes from former TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
LOL.
Chris Sabin announced on Twitter earlier today that he's officially a free agent, and he's starting to take bookings. Yeah, wait, TNA has an alumni roster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to look at that. So yeah, Chris Sabin and Kazarian are now gone. They're still cutting back. They're in a bad position. There were major concerns about money at this past week's set of TNA Impact Wrestling tapings in Orlando, specifically with the production crew. People in production were upset about being behind on pay, and it was said that if they weren't caught up on pay by a certain point, they were going to walk out in the middle of last week's set of tapings. These threats clearly made their way back to TNA management as checks were issued to people and everything cooled off. There was a 24-hour period where there was a lot of tension backstage. As noted earlier, money is tighter than ever right now in TNA. And that's why they are cutting, I think, most of their veteran talent.
I would like to see the production team walk out and breach their contract.
Yeah.
Then they don't get paid. Then they don't get paid at all.
They're gonna have to hire some illegals pretty soon.
Greg, it's up Greg's alley.
There you go, man.
Greg,
It's
apply.
it's
You might get a
reported.
job, Greg, if you apply.
I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but it's being reported that TNA is like in $100 million in the hole.
That's not surprising.
100
Did
or 100 or just 1 million?
$100 million.
Did Dave Meltzer tell you that?
I don't know where the report says, but it looked kind of like a legitimate report.
Yeah, I don't believe they're $100 million
It
in
probably
debt.
came from Dave Meltzer.
So if someone can do some research for
If they were $100 million in debt, Panda Energy would have to shut down.
no, why? Panda
That's
Energy.
a lot of money.
Panda Energy made $4 billion last year.
All right, TNA would have to shut down.
TNA would have
million?
to shut down.
If they were $100 million in debt, they'd be gone.
Panda Energy is an oil company. They're not losing any fucking money.
Dude, pandas run all the oil companies.
But yeah, that's not legit because
Why can't pandas run the world?
I don't know.
Because, Jonesy, their durability would just destroy
Their
everything.
adorability.
Dude, pandas are the best. Shut up,
Dixie
Hunter.
Carter deleted a tweet where she took a shot at Jim Ross. She wrote to the JR parody account. It's official, you know, as little as the real JR. Pretty much saying JR's an idiot. Dixie has made some other questionable tweets lately. One fan wrote that TNA's ratings are dropping because they copy WWE storylines, referring to MVP's characters being similar to Triple H's. Dixie replied, "Holy shit balls, that's funny. You have it wrong."
She actually tweeted that?
She actually tweeted that.
Shitballs.
And another fan wrote that MVP would regret the decisions he was making in the storylines. Dixie tweeted her reply sometime Friday, but she wrote "for show." Not making this up.
oh my god.
She got hacked, I bet, just like Kurt Angle's.
Either Dixie got hacked or she's gone completely apeshit with how tight the money's been.
Is it
Why
time
am I still here?
And we'll close it out with just a couple more news topics, and we'll go into Pop Flop and Botches.
Pop, flop, and botch it.
As noted, Kurt Angle had surgery to repair a torn ACL earlier today.
Again!
And will be out of action for several months.
How many times has he been injured since he's been in TNA?
I mean, in the past year and a half, about 4. And I think 3 of those were from EC3. But it wasn't even EC3's fault, because it was a lot of Kurt Angle doing stupid spots that he shouldn't be doing in the first place. Like that moonsault off the top of the cage.
Like Greg, he needs to do his traditional cage moonsault that does not connect.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, man.
Apparently he's going to be out for 4 months. Or no, sorry, 5 months. Because he posted on Instagram 4 months and 29 days for my return to the ring. Training starts today.
Just in time for his contract to expire.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. So rest in peace for him. And one more thing about TNA. Which one is it? It's worth noting that none of the quarter-hour ratings for Thursday's Impact Wrestling were over 0.90. Impact opened a year low of 0.86 quarter for the segment with Eric Young and Bobby Roode. Then they hit a show low of 0.80 in the next segment that had MVP and EY backstage, plus the beginning of the evening gown match.
You know what this means?
What?
EY doesn't draw.
No.
Of course not.
That shitty fishing show can't do jack shit for the TNA ratings. And probably the biggest news that came out from last week that I found very, very surprising. David Benoit was scheduled to make his pro wrestling debut. David Benoit, surprise! No, we haven't. Surprise, surprise! David Benoit is the son of Chris Benoit.
David Benoit.
David Benoit. David Benoit was scheduled to make his pro. He was scheduled to make he was scheduled to make his pro wrestling debut at the Hart Legacy event in July. The news was announced on Twitter by Smith Hart, Bret Hart's older brother, and it turns out David has never formally trained to wrestle, and Smith was trying to convince him to do the show, thinking that he would help draw ticket sales and drum up a lot of attention.
I am the son of the guy who killed my other brother.
Pretty much. After word got out about David teaming with Chavo Guerrero on the show, Chris Jericho, who is close to David, contacted the Hart Legacy promotion and wasn't happy at all. Jericho was furious at the promotion for advertising David for that match because he hadn't been trained yet. Jericho was reportedly very mad and tried to get the match stopped. This led to Chavo canceling his booking for that event. Smith Hart reportedly told Chavo that David had some in-ring experience and would be fine in their match. Smith then reportedly told Jericho that there was never planning on having David wrestle, and that he would just be doing some kind of angle. Smith reportedly told David that since he still wanted him in the match and tried to convince him that he could get through it without training, it now said that David's booking of the event may be canceled altogether. We noted before that David spent some time in Lance Storm's school in Canada. David actually enrolled in several training camps, but never showed up on the first day and wasn't trained. David reportedly asked Triple H and William Regal about being a wrestler years ago, and they told him to finish high school first and recommend Storm's school because it was near him. So a lot of controversy came out of that. I'm surprised that David Benoit has actually talked to Triple H, and maybe Triple H would be interested way down the line to probably pick him up later.
I get a question.
What?
What's worse? The fact that David Benoit has no wrestling ability or training? Or the fact that he was teaming with Chavo Guerrero?
Hey.
Teaming with Chavo Guerrero.
Exactly.
Because
you know why? No, shut up. You know why? Because Chavo Guerrero sucks.
No, he doesn't.
Chavo killed Eddie, everybody knows it.
What are you talking about? Chavo doesn't suck.
Chavo's not not a bad wrestler at all.
He's not a good wrestler. He's not entertaining, and he leeches
He's
off
not
the,
Daniel Bryan, sure,
He-
but
he-
he's a
he-
good fucking wrestler, and you
he
can't deny
leeches
that
off the
fact.
memory of his dead uncle.
Oh my god, when did
My Uncle Eddie.
he first of all, he did a lot of that because Vince McMahon booked it that way. Those freaking crazy ass storylines that Vince came up with when Eddie died, that even Chavo to an extent was kind of against.
I was waiting for an angle where Chavo Guerrero was the mistress of Vicky.
Oh,
The mistress
man.
to
He did,
Vicky.
he did do
Yeah.
it a few times when he debuted
You know what I
in
meant.
TNA as well.
I know what you meant.
I was kind of happy that that David was gonna debut with Chavo because Chavo's a very respectful and very good wrestler, and to work with and to do some tag team with, I think it would
He
have been a
killed
great.
Hernandez's career.
Literally.
No, I think TNA killed Hernandez's career because TNA could
Mm.
have easily pushed Hernandez whenever they wanted, but they decided to revive LAX like 7 times.
It was only twice.
Whatever. Seemed like fucking.
Why are we still talking?
I don't know.
Speaking of reviving things,
Speaking of
Uh,
reviving things, we need
Xavier Wood tweeted out something earlier today that made me laugh. It was a picture. He tweeted it to Biggie Langston, and it was a picture of the Nation of Domination. And mentioned Rusev, and I want it to happen. I do so badly.
Oh man, if only they could get away with it.
They can.
I don't think they could.
Oh, they could totally get away with it. Are you
How?
kidding me? Just do it.
I mean,
We hate Russians.
you got to consider the fact that the Nation of Domination himself was kind of a little bit racist,
Uh,
especially
a
when
little
they decided to throw fucking Owen Hart in it.
dude, listen. He's a black heart, though. Come on. He's not a nugget.
Enough was enough, and it was time for a change.
Yep.
Well, we got
Alright.
my hour's worth of podcast. Let's do our pop, flop, and watch and end the podcast.
You're gay.
Wesley, starting with you first.
You would pick me first.
Because, Wesley, I know you're never ready.
Yeah.
And you always come up with the best stuff, even when you aren't ready.
Because I'm the best.
out to
My
Wesley.
pop, yeah.
Gay?
My first pop goes to the New York Jets for not drafting terrible this year. GG. I did really well. Didn't screw it up, like usual. My second pop goes to AJ McCarron for getting drafted. Although it was a little bit late. Still totally cool with it. See my pop, now my flop. My flop was Raw. Raw wasn't fun. And it hurt
Raw
me
was not
inside.
fun at all.
And that Daniel Bryan thing made me sad.
Man, it looked like he was about to choke up and cry in the ring.
Yeah, dude,
It
I think
was-
everybody was gonna choke and cry.
Yeah.
My botch goes to
Am I quitting?
oh my god. My botch goes to the Vikings. There we go. That's a good one. Next.
Vikings.
Johnny
the Raiders.
Manziel.
Anthony Barr.
The next
Shut
big
your
thing.
mouth.
The next big thing.
Come on, Johnny Football, sweet baby Jesus.
At least we got
The
Khalil
Vikings
Mack.
should have picked him.
Alright, go Wesley.
I'm already done.
Oh, you are? Oh, cool.
Oh wait. Botch. My botch goes to the Raiders and the Vikings. They both suck.
Whatever.
4-12, Greg. 4-12.
8-8 for 2 years. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, they were 4-12 the
I
past
don't
two.
give a shit. 8-8.
I tried telling him that at the end of the year. He's like, I don't care about football now, Mike. It's all about hockey.
Greg, remember
It
the
is
last
all about
time?
hockey. The Ducks just won. We are now, for the first time in this series, above the Kings. Suck it.
You guys haven't been anywhere near a playoff since like '83.
Who?
The Detroit Lions.
The Raiders?
Yeah. Now it's talking about the Lions.
Oh. Okay.
Which is, that's not even true either, because they were in the playoffs 2 years ago.
Oh, shit. Anyways, Death, if you're still here.
Yes, I am.
Pop up about Joe.
All right. The pop goes to S. Jonesy and Mike for Twitter.
What?
Yay.
And
Video is solid. Solid this week.
flop
Man, this
goes
is great.
to the freaking Divas match tonight, which is god awful. And my botched is
Your watch is what?
Greg.
There we
Oh.
go. I thought he said Mike. I was like, why?
What do I do now?
Speaking of Mike, hey Mike, do your problem bunch.
Okay, well, how it goes to the Ring of Honor show? What I could watch of it because I'm no longer watching YouTube
It sucks.
because it lagged, and then another site streamed what YouTube was streaming, and it was flawless.
Drink.
So,
good for you, Mike.
YouTube, shut your mouth, Thor.
I don't know what you were having problems with because what I caught of that Ring of Honor event, I had no
No.
problems at
The site itself
all.
lags.
That's because you watched it on regular Woo. You have to go to Woo All when they don't
Woo
use macros.
Woo all even lagged.
It's
Ooh.
okay. Well, I don't know.
We at
I,
Arca Wrestling do not promote illegal streams.
I
And
know.
then WH Sports streamed with their stream, and it was perfect.
I know the macros really slow down the website.
Well, that's what happened then, because that site was going slow as crap.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, don't go to WooTube. WooTube sucks. Come out
Yeah.
here, YouTube.
Flop will go to the Cleveland Browns for drafting Johnny Manziel.
Oh, dude, it's going to be great. Shut your mouth.
And my botch, strike, I mean this from the bottom of my wonderful heart. My botch
Your
goes
black
to Duck.
heart.
Yes. My botch goes to Duck, because he is now the most retarded person in
Why
this
do
state.
we even have him in this group anymore? He doesn't
Shut
even
up.
come on the
Shut up.
podcast.
Shut up, let me explain why.
Point.
Let me explain why.
That's the point.
At least when Strike has an argument, he tries to make sense of what he's saying.
Oh man,
He tried.
Mike is putting
Even if he's
Strike
wrong.
over Duck. I never thought I'd see this.
No,
thing.
he tries to make sense of a situation. Duck is just an idiot. Anybody who says Jushin Thunder Liger wrestles like Mark Henry, like I said before, deserves to have their wrestling card taken away.
Quack.
Whack.
All right.
I have never
Wow.
met somebody so stupid in my life.
Oh man.
Mike's just tar and feathered Duck right there. So.
No, what just happened was called a burial.
No, he draw and quartered him.
Mm-hmm. I got that.
Jonesy.
My pop goes to Johnny Manziel for having to wait a couple of hours before he got drafted, which was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Making him humble.
Yeah. Break his back, make him humble.
And to the
Uh,
and to the Browns of all team.
Fucking Browns. He's gonna have no career now.
Oh, he's gonna have a career. It's just gonna suck.
Could have been
Oh, well.
worse.
He'll probably be traded again.
To the Raiders.
Fucking hope so.
Which will be perfect.
All we need is a quarterback. All we need is a quarterback.
No, all you need is an everything.
All we need is a
He did
quarterback.
everything.
The only
but
thing you don't need
fans.
is a kicker.
Yeah.
You get the
Yeah, I'll
kicker
give
down
him.
pat.
You do have the kicker.
You guys just need some people with actual hands.
My
Are-
flop goes
Are you
to-
implying that the Raiders receivers have nubs for hands?
Yes, because they can't keep hold of the ball.
All right, let's stop talking about the Raiders and move on with the pop flop and boxes.
The true statement of Bumbles McGillicuddy.
Nubs McGee?
No, speaking. Ampy the amputee. My flop goes to oh fuck, I had it. What was it? Oh yeah, it was tonight's Raw because it was boring as shit. And my flop goes to
White people.
They suck.
sure white people.
Awesome. Hey, Hunter, what a surprise! You made it to the end of the podcast.
Yeah, I did. And I've got quite a story for you today.
Congrats.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
God.
Congratulations, you.
Does it involve LSD or heroin?
No, it involves the gym and the douchey idiot who Something happened.
Please tell us the story right now.
Oh, I can hear this. Let's go.
Here,
Go.
listening.
Shut
Okay,
up.
so-
Let him talk.
What?
So I'm doing. Shut your mouth, Jonesy, or I won't say it. Okay.
What?
Okay, I'm not telling you the story. Now.
Shut up. Let
My
him do
pop
it.
is,
Go. Go. Hunter, you better tell the story.
No,
Hunter, you
Jonesy's
better
a
tell the
douche.
Hunter, tell the story.
You better tell the story, else I won't use your song.
I want to hear the
Crap
story now.
song, it's okay.
I'm intrigued. Come on, Hooker. You tell your
Okay.
story.
So I'm doing chest press, 85-pound dumbbells.
Shut
And-
up. Shut up.
Bro!
Basically, this guy I know is spotting me, and on my last set, I get through 10, and do 2 more. He freaking knocks the 85-pound dumbbell onto my chest, and I've got a giant bruise now because of this cocksucker.
Okay, that was the worst fucking story I had to sit through.
What you gonna do, bro?
Hunter, how about you do your pop-up much?
My pop is for
Do you drop the dumbbell on my chest?
Yeah.
Even up my back.
it hurts though, you know.
No, I don't. So I have a down dumbbell dropped on my chest.
My pop is for this really annoying chick who just said "Yug." Don't know what that means.
Dude, she's obviously a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Come on.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Might be you're gay. I don't know.
That's stupid.
No,
Okay.
that makes sense if it was towards Hunter.
Yu-Gi-Oh! You're
So my pop is for. I don't have a pop this week because my life sucks.
Did you not go to the sauna this week with your bros? Or?
Disgusting, dude.
Oh man, what a
Watch
difficult life
the
you have.
Vikings for passing on Johnny Manziel.
That was great.
And, you know, my botch goes
No, I
to
don't know.
the world.
Rolls up to give me, man.
Man, Hunter's living a depressed life. His life sucks. The world sucks.
You didn't go into the sauna with
Vikings-
your bros, did you?
Vikings
As soon as I
suck.
turn 21, my life will get a lot better. Let's just say that.
No, it won't.
No,
Yeah,
well, there's
It's
nothing
like
good
you
about
get drunk.
21.
Oh, man. And I could get drunk.
No,
Lift
so I
weights
can
at
go
the
to the
same time,
bars.
man.
I want to go to the bar so bad.
No,
Are you
you
done?
don't. There's nothing good about it.
Get some hot babes.
You want a
think they're hot.
Barbie?
Some hot babes.
Why do you want a Barbie? It's
What'd you
like
say,
the worst-
Mike?
Why do you want a Barbie? It's like the worst thing you could do.
Alright,
Oh, it's not-
my pop, flop, and botch.
no one asked you, Greg.
So let's go to Greg for his pop, flop, and botch. Go
My-
ahead, Greg.
My pop goes to the Ducks who just won.
Nobody cares.
They're now 3-2 against the Kings.
Nobody cares.
Probably paid the refs.
Kings.
Nobody cares.
Uh,
I don't know if you're knowing this right now, but nobody cares.
my other pop goes to
Your mother?
no.
My mama. My mother.
I don't
The
know.
Jews.
Oh, I'm possibly going to the PWG show at the end of the month.
No, you're not.
We're getting close. We're still waiting on a friend to figure out if he get that day off or not. He
You know what?
and he's the friend that really wants to go the most. So if we don't go, he says that he could definitely make it to next month's showing.
You're
so
not going.
we're definitely either going this month or next month.
You're not going.
Yes, I am. Mike.
Greg saying he's going to PWG is like saying that Solomon Crow is going to debut.
Right?
It just constantly gets pushed back until it finally happens.
Then it never happened.
That never happens.
When Solomon Crow debuts, I will go to a PWG show.
Yeah, you're full of crap.
Full of shit.
So that puts it on Mike to really hope that Solomon Crow gets signed.
Yeah. I'm gonna cry if he doesn't debut soon.
My flop goes to AJ Lee's return constantly getting pushed back now. Damian Sandow having to fucking do a 5-second pipe bomb on the pre-show to get any fucking attention.
Why won't you love me?
Raw in general is getting really sad. I think the booking is WWE's officials are just freaking out now because they nothing is set anymore. Like nothing, they have no clue what's gonna happen in the future, and this is their fault for not planning ahead.
It's your fault.
It's your fault.
And my botch goes to my botch goes to Derek Carr.
David Carr.
Not
David Carr?
Derek Carr. Thank you for the correction. But yeah, fuck him.
You're not welcome.
We didn't need a QB this year. Well, we did, but it would have been good if it was a good QB. Not Derek Carr. I would have much rather had picked someone else, or even traded down, so we would have gotten a good pick next year. But you know what? You can't have whatever you want.
Oh wow, he's from Fresno State.
You hear that, Greg? Greg, do you hear that?
What?
It's the sound of nobody caring.
Oh. Anyways, thank you guys for joining this video Wrestling podcast. You know where to join us over
No,
on
they don't.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Go follow us there, and we'll catch you next time.
There you
Buy
go.
the merchandise
Bye.
so I can get protein.